So I've been wanting to make this video for a while now. And real quick, before I get into like the subject matter of this video, I'll give you a little backstory on myself. Aside from making these little YouTube videos, my full-time job is a manager of a fitness center. I've been a personal trainer for about 20 years, an ISSA nutritionist, and I specialize in what's called corrective exercise, which is, making sure that clients work out safely and utilizing proper biomechanics. Utilizing proper biomechanics is a fancy way of saying utilizing proper movement patterns when you do things. And everybody knows when you go to Disneyland, it's a lot of walking. Like we were clocking, 30,000 steps, 10 to 12 miles a day when we were going, because we're the type that we rope drop and we stay till the park closes. I've tried a bunch of different shoes over the years, and I think I've found not necessarily the specific shoe, the specific type of shoe that you want to use when you visit the parks, whether it's like Disneyland, Universal, Disney World, whatever. So my recommendation for the type of shoe that you want to wear when you're visiting the parks is a trail runner. I know it sounds weird because you would think that logically the best shoe for Disneyland would be like a walking shoe or a running shoe, just because you're not hiking, it's not a trail, you're not going in the mud, you're not going through water or anything. But what I find is that with trail runners such as these are like my personal shoes here. You don't have to necessarily get these. My favorite shoes are the Ultra Lone Peaks. I think this is a Lone Peak 8. My second pair of Lone Peak 8s that I've had. There is a Lone Peak 9. I think it's a newer version. The reason I always recommend a zero drop shoe that doesn't have like a super elevated heel, it creates more of a natural movement pattern. And you want your movement pattern to be as close to how you would move naturally barefoot, especially if you're going to be walking as much as you're walking in Disneyland. So I always recommend like a zero drop. The reason I like the trail runner type of zero drop is that they tend to have a little bit wider base of support, and that's going to prevent you from like rolling your ankle on uneven surfaces in the parks. And we all know that Disneyland has you got cobblestone, you got brick, you got the train tracks on Main Street. There's a lot of opportunities for ankle sprains, which brings me to my next point, is that a lot of people think that when you have a high top shoe, that would prevent you from rolling your ankles. Whereas a low cut shoe, people think, I'm gonna roll my ankle more easily. But it's actually the sole, so the base of support, that prevents like what they call inversion, like which is the most common type of ankle sprain where you roll your ankle, and not the height of the actual boot of the shoe. It's the bottom, because your foot's gonna tip over from the bottom, not up here. So I always say, look at the base of support you have, versus like having a high cut shoe if you're prone to like inversion ankle sprains. The other reason I like these particular shoes, the Ultra Lone Peaks, is that they're foot shaped. Here, I'll hold it up like this so you can see. And you can see that the toe box is wider, right, than the back. And I have kind of weird feet in that I have a narrow heel, but I have a wide forefoot and a wide toe spread, I guess you would say. So I like a foot-shaped, like wide toe box shoe, and that gives my toes more room to move and, just feel more comfortable throughout the day. And so the last reason why I would recommend a trail runner is a lot of them are waterproof. So these particular Ultras are waterproof, and a lot of trail runners are, because they're designed to go running in the mud, in the rain. And we know that Disneyland and Disney World, you might get caught in the rain, and there's nothing worse than having wet feet and wet socks and trying to enjoy the park. So I always recommend like a trail runner that's waterproof. So to sum it up, my recommendation for shoes for the parks are, trail runners with a wide base of support, wide toe box, some waterproofing, and you should be good to go. I'll link these shoes down below if anybody's interested in these. It's not sponsored. No video you see on this channel is ever going to be like a sponsored, or you're not going to see an ad read or anything like that. I just really like these shoes. I bought them with my own money, and I figured why not spread the love and share something that's been working out well for me. But anyway, thanks for watching, and get out there and enjoy the parks.